planetinfowars.com. That's planetinfowars.com. And you can go there to the site and find out. We've got the newest groups up there at the top. Most popular, view all groups. There's people writing amazing articles, posting videos, photos, you name it. It is a Facebook that does not sell your data to the New World Order or promote the New World Order. It's got outdoor sections, street art, guns, resistance, preparedness, activism, dating, liberty lovers, people getting together, whether it's for the love of liberty and shooting guns or for the love of kissy kiss. It's all up there at planetinfowars.com. A lot of folks are shocked that I'm here on the air after being on the road for 11 days. And I do feel strangely hammered. But I'm normally so hyper that that's okay. By the way, Prometheus is coming out tomorrow. Perhaps, Aaron, later we should repost Prometheus on Infowars.com, my breakdown of it. Everybody who's now seen it, because there's been sneak peeks, says, oh, it really is what you said it would be. And he's come out and said, I am challenging religion with this. Did God or aliens make us? Told you, I got an early script. And there's no way I'd put it out, because let me tell you want to get sued? That'd be the way. Plus, I don't want to, I'm a Ridley Scott fan. I don't particularly like his Illuminati ways, but I told you. So Secrets of Prometheus film leaked, 500,000 views. It should be 5 million views, but there you go. Also, a video that we aired while I was on the road I'm really proud of is the drone shot down over Texas. We were actually getting real drones. We have a guy that works for Hollywood companies here locally who's got the big helicopters that police use. They're like 1/5 the size. And he's got an old one that he can strip down. And if some sponsors step up, we're going to be able to have it in the air videoing while we shoot down other smaller drones, and then we're going to blow it out of the sky. So just a little hint on that. That's coming up. Because, hey, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. And by the way, I should point out that that last shoot down cost some money, and that was brought to you by AustinArcheryCountry.com, GunfightersClinic.com, and SteinerSteakhouse.com. And liberty lovers like you at Infowars.com. Okay, let's go to Aaron Dykes now. Here's my frustration. Here's the issue that I deal with. We'll cut his mic for a minute. I'm going to go to him in a second, and I'll get that reverb thing going. I'm going to start over here. Reset live on the air, because this is important. And I want to just focus in on people there and really point out how big of a deal this is. My big frustration is that I am a weak, pathetic, impure vessel to bring you this magnitude of information. Most people of incredible intelligence and repertoire of verbal dynamics and oratory skills and proclivities get hired by the New World Order and join with evil. Mainly just because we're social creatures and like to be told, oh, you're smart, you're part of the elite, even though you're a sub-basement or porch elite. But I've read Anthony Sutton's America's Secret Establishment from the documents that Skull and Bones member's daughter was able to leak to him. We can now tell you it's Charlotte Thompson Iserby, Thompson family, or her dad and grandfather. This book, written in the 1960s, the head of Georgetown Political Science, Carol Quigley, Bill Clinton's mentor, 1,300+ pages in the archives of the Carnegie Ford Rockefeller Foundation. Total world government, using communism and socialism on the ground to make you dependent, but having globalists offshore who are exempt, who are fascist, who then transfer the wealth. Their job is to keep the economy down. They've always worked to keep the American economy down. Before the Federal Reserve took over, at a 10% a year growth rate, families exploding, everything milk and honey compared to what it is now. Now, less than 3%, total implosion. They admit it all right here. They're very, very proud of themselves. Now, when this book got popular, when the academics thought the general public wouldn't read it, they destroyed the plates. At least they thought. It's been republished. Infowars.com has it, I should add. All of this is going on. So when you read something like Time or Newsweek saying the case to kill Granny, or Bill Gates comes out and says, you know, don't give grandma end-of-life care, a death panel, we can hire 10 teachers, and the teachers get all excited. And in this article, Joe Klein talks about how, you know, his parents, how pathetic they were, basically, when they were old, and that was a favor to just, you know, just get rid of them. It makes it really trendy and sexy. All of these are anti-human globalist messages. And when you study these people, there's a book I hadn't read. I'd scanned over it years ago in high school. Maybe it was college while at my parents' home. I know it's on my parents' bookshelf. What year was that published, Aaron?
1986.
1986. It probably was high school. I have read part of the Wise Men. Can I see it?
Yep.
And so when we got these latest Bilderberg documents, I mean, we knew all this, but it just brought it home to us. It was George Kennan, Dean Acheson. We'll just go over all their names. Averil Harriman, John McCloy, Robert Lovett. But the point is that these guys all openly and publicly wrote they wanted authoritarianism, but they wanted to remain secret while using psych warfare, eugenics to take over. And that's why when you see the White House science czar saying the same stuff, and David Rockefeller, whenever academics get up, or Jay Rockefeller saying, oh my gosh, you're the greatest genius ever, oh, I love you. They worship academics because it's a cult of creeping around and no one knowing who you are. Real predators grab you in the dark. They revel in that they created this false, sick, vapid, not even skin deep, poisonous culture. And they all brag on it. I mean, you read it, the celebrations of world government. Rockefeller in his memoir published 6 years ago about, we're setting up world government, guilty as charged. This new Rockefeller document we got out of a Bilderberg archive, bragging about how they're God's gift to God, how they've become God. See, that's the whole Prometheus thing. I mean, these guys are vicious. And we dug up a TV clip that we have from Richard Hefner, who was a big federal regulator of media, headed up the American Association, Motion Picture Association. He basically like a Charlie Rose. And what? This clip we've got is from '88, correct, guys? There's two clips. The point is, I want to play a few minutes of this. This is him talking about, this is '88, when the book came out. This is him talking about the new book that was coming out in '88 with the writer who was allowed into the archives of Bilderberg. And that's what this book is. And it is just absolute confession of overthrowing the country and merging with European robber barons. And again, I know my audience knows all this, but just to understand, Bilderberg really does run things. It is the highest level council of many mafia meetings they have. Everybody that heads Bilderberg, heads CFR, heads Trilateral, heads Royal Institute of International Affairs, heads Brookings, heads RAND, heads all of these groups. There's only maybe 150 of these. Sub-minions like Rothkopf, who headed up the Kissinger group, he says the superclass is 6,000. But that's for sub-minions to feel important like they're part of it. And the higher you go, when you get to the very highest level of only a couple hundred, they say they're going to kill everyone but a few slaves apiece, and that those won't even be needed because they're going to have androids. And again, I'm not saying they're even able to get all this done. Point is, they're saying all this, and you better be aware of it. So we're going to keep you a little bit in the next hour and then go to calls, Aaron. Let's go now, though. It's 25 minutes long. I'm going to play part of it on the Nightly News tonight. I'm going to get this article later linked up at Infowars.com, this video. This is from the host of The Open Mind, a public affairs television show that was the forerunner of Charlie Rose's show. Yeah, this is '86, right as the book was coming out. He is a university professor of communications and public policy at Rutgers University. And it just goes through, all the big TV systems he ran and federal boards he was on. Now, why did he get there? Because he openly grovels and worships what he calls the American aristocracy, who's better than us. And when you get around these academics, that's why when Dr. Pianka got up from the University of Texas to the Texas Academy of Sciences, there was like 500 people in the audience. Audio and photos were taken. We had the local newspaper on. There was a 3-minute standing ovation as people cried when Pianka said, we're going to kill 90%, it's going to begin soon, and projected a big shot of skulls up on the wall. people began crying in orgies of pleasure. Okay, I mean, these professors are walking around right now at every major university. Either they're low level and never went up the chain because they're against it and know the truth but keep their head down, or they're the guys that have published books and get the grant money, and you can walk up to any of them randomly and say, should we reduce population? There's no doubt humans are a sickening parasite. Get out of my way, scum. And they all go to events and just go, you are my... It's like a cult. It's not like, it is a death cult of sicko control freaks. Again, my dad was top of his class. Out of 160 people, of the top 160 that got sent to UT in some junior accelerated thing, I forget the exact name of it, he was sent to that. I remember my grandmother's house, she had some of the old magazines my dad was in and stuff, and science things he was involved in. He was getting like grants to build lasers when he was a teenager and all this stuff. So they sent him to UT. My dad didn't even have to get his degree at UT to go to dental school. I mean, to give you an idea, my dad doesn't even have a UT degree. Just, oh, you don't even have to have your degree, you just go to dental school. But side issue. The point is, that's how this stuff actually works, is that the head of the botany department who was running the thing calls him in as a junior in high school and gives him the eugenics speech. It happens to everybody because he tested in the top, I forget, couple of 160 people. So they called him in, little David Ross Jones, to sit here and give him the speech. Eugenics isn't like you think with Hitler. He just went after the particular groups. We're going to get everyone, but not you. He didn't go for it. Now, this is the reality. I want to go out to break with the open groveling to the elite of these people, and then they go to the host. The host goes to the guy who wrote the article, and he goes into endless groveling about them. Here it is from 1986.
I'm Richard Hefner, your host.
Let's stop it right there. Let's stop it right there. Because I don't have any audio. We're down, folks, we're down to skeleton crew now. Everybody's going on vacation and stuff. We got one person. I'm not getting fed audio in here. Okay? So back it up some more so I can show. Let's stop there. Let's back it up. Again, we're down to total skeleton crew here, folks. Don't even know we'll be able to continue. I mean, quite frank with you. Okay, let's go ahead and back it up now. Again, this is called the American Aristocracy. Here it is.
I'm Richard Hefner, your host on The Open Mind. As a historian, I've always embraced and even celebrated the role that heroes, great leaders, extraordinary men and women of vision and power have played in forging our national past. Who indeed would have the temerity or timidity to ignore or deny their part in molding our destiny? Yet it may be too easy, too tempting at a moment of pygmies and drones to indulge in hyperbole, perhaps in nostalgia that is wishfully envious of larger persons in larger roles in times past, nostalgia that enlarges more than in truth history warrants upon their real contribution to the course of history. So that today we approach with admiration and awe a totally intriguing and brilliantly crafted new Simon & Schuster volume, The Wise Men, Six Friends and the World They Made, about Averell Harriman, Dean Acheson, Robert Lovett, John McCloy,